Thanks, Mike. Coach, you said you didn't want any help from anyone else in order for your team to get into the playoffs. Earlier, you didn't get any, with upsets being the theme of the day. What did you tell your team in order to avoid an upset tonight?
Well, the thing we came down and we're not paying attention to what everybody else is doing. We knew what we had to do tonight to win our division. That's win the ball game.
Well, in Week 7, you intercepted Troy Aikman 5 times. Tonight, you're going to face an unknown quarterback in Anthony Wright. Does the unknown concern you at all?
Well, it does, Solomon, because you haven't seen him play a lot, but the game I saw him to play last week, this young man has a lot of composure, throws the ball very nicely. He's a good athlete. He's going to be an outstanding quarterback, just hopefully not tonight.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us. Well, all year the Giants have been the better football team, but here at Texas Stadium, well, they've been reduced to mere midgets, winning only 1 of their last 9 games. But tonight, a division title is on the line.
If anybody wants to be the spoiler, it's the Cowboys.
Got to keep bringing it. Can't touch it.
We need to win these 2 games to move on to get what we want to get, which is home field and a bye. And that's what we strive for.
It's all in good fun. It's the Cowboys and the Giants, and there's no better rivalry than that.
Hi, I'm Chris Carter. I'd like to talk to you about a problem.
As hard as it might be to believe, with 1 game to go in the regular season, not a single team has clinched a division title as yet. The Giants can do it tonight. That's amazing. There is Micah Noor. He will kick it off for the Dallas Cowboys. Damon Washington and Ron Dixon are deep to receive. Dixon, who missed last week's game, he overslept and missed a mandatory meeting on Saturday. Suspended, now back in the good graces.
Very well rested, I'm sure.
Yes.
And lighter in his pocket.
And probably owns about 6 alarm clocks. We are underway in Dallas. Ron Dixon runs into his own man, then drilled at the 21. Here's the Giants offense.
Hi, I'm Lomas Brown. Joining me tonight on offense, quarterback Kerry Collins, running backs Tiki Barber and Greg the Cloud Camilla. At wide receiver, you have Amani Toomer, and from the University of Florida, Ike Hillier, and the tight end is Howard Old Man Cross.
Thank you, Lomas. Back to the rest of the lineup in a minute. There is Collins as they start from the 22. Superlative game for Kerry Collins a week ago against the Steelers. Tiki Barber squirms forward to the 25. Back to Lomas for the rest of the offense.
Joining me at tackle, you have luscious Luke Pettigrew. At guards, you have Jason Whittle and Ron Stony Stone. And the center is Dusty the Dustinator Ziegler. Back to you guys.
The Dustinator?
I swear they spend all week working on these things. And they're good, too.
2nd and 7 from the Giants from their own 25. Collins short set. Barber. Check it. Toomer makes the catch across the 40. Gain of 18.
Amani Toomer working on Felipe Sparks. It's an opportunity. These guys spend a lot of time working against one another. Sparks being a former Giant. The one thing that I've noticed is Kerry Collins gets the ball out quickly, but Amani Toomer in the last 3 or 4 weeks has made those kind of catches game in and game out.
Last week, Toomer had season highs, 9 catches and 136 yards. Ron Dane in a tailback, and he'll get the carry. Here's the Dallas defense.
Hi, I'm Ryan McNeil, cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. And at defensive end, we have Alonzo Spellman and Greg Ellis. Defensive tackles, Michael Myers and Brandon Noble. And at linebacker, we have Darren Hembrick, Dat Wynn, and Dexter Coakley. Joining me at cornerback is Felipe Sparks, and the safeties are Greg Myers and Alzel Reese.
Ryan, thank you. And there is Spellman. This defensive line banged up so badly. Leon Lett, Chad Hennings have been out on IR. Shuffling a lot of people in there trying to find the right combination. Barber on the toss. Nowhere to go. Coakley was out there to hold it up.
No, it's Lomas Brown did the lineups for the Giants. You know, at the age of 37, he's the oldest offensive lineman in Giant history.
And that time, trying to run to his side, it's going to be very difficult to try and get outside of Dexter Coakley. He's their fastest linebacker, and if there's one thing you say about these linebackers that Lomas and the offensive line will have to block, is that they all run very well. I think the Giants will be better off trying to go at them instead of around them.
Certainly the offensive line has been a strength for the Giants all year. They're missing their starting left guard, Glenn Parker, had arthroscopic surgery on his knee. Could be out next week as well, but should be back after that. Cross with a catch across the middle into Dallas territory. And it will be a first down at the Cowboy 46.
Boy, I'll tell you, this is a great throw by Kerry Collins. You talk about getting rid of the ball in a hurry. He reached Cross right. Watch this. Watch out for that. Bang, he looks to the outside. Here's Cross. Now back to him, and it's a first down. That's quick and accurate.
From the ump cam, you can see pretty much what Kerry saw. Quick look by Howard over the middle.
Cross, the last remaining link to Super Bowl 25 for the Giants. Out of the eye, play action fake. Camelo in the flat. Sparks held him up, and he gets down to the 40-yard line. Giants with an impressive opening drive.
One of the things that this offense tries to achieve, and Jim Fossil talked about in this game in particular, is to achieve balance. They want to play their game. You see the way they've done it in 2000. 225 yards, game 14. Dead last a year ago, only 170 yards. And the key is the quickness with which Kerry Collins makes a decision to get rid of the football.
Collins with career highs in yards and touchdowns this year. Into the flat this time, Toomer.
But you know, the other thing, too, is when we're talking to Fossil, you say, well, you know, you look at the Dallas Cowboys, the worst rushing defense in the National Football League. Obviously, Coach, you're going to run. Not so. He said, we are going to do our balanced attack. This is exactly what we want to do.
Well, I think sometimes you're better off throwing first to loosen the defense up a little bit so that you can run the football. You just don't have to come out and say, boom, we're going to go at you.
Kerry Collins would agree with you right now, Joe. He's 4 for 4, 41 yards. Dane behind Camelo. Collins to throw again. Deep this time, Hilliard wide open. He missed it.
Oh, man. Felipe Sparks, he just left him, and he was so open. And when Collins saw it, he just threw the ball too quick. He had plenty of time to throw the ball because the offensive line gave it to him. Watch this. Here's Hilliard down the sideline. Look at Felipe Sparks, number 20. He's not within 10 yards of him, and the ball's thrown out of bounds.
Boy, did he bite on the double move.
Oh.
Dave Campo, it has not been what he had hoped the first year, 5 and 9. The longtime assistant, elevated to the head coach this year. Barber on the delay. Tiki Barber inside the 30-yard line. Of course, Campo's team has been struck by a series of injuries that have really crippled their chances to be that competitive.
Tiki Barber has handled the ball so much for this football team. The big thing that you have to be concerned with is when you get into a third down situation and Dave Campo's defense, and Dave made a very big point of this, I'm very concerned about him as a pass receiver. That's where we have to be really careful. He gets out against a linebacker, they have an advantage.
3rd and 7. On the toss, no way. Ron Dixon was in the backfield, and he got the toss. His sub 4.5 speed couldn't help him get to the corner, and Coakley took him out of bounds.
Well, they move Tiki out to the wing, and they bring Dixon into the backfield, and they try and run a quick toss. Again, I don't think that's the way to attack this defense. There you see movement on the inside again. Dexter Coakley manages to run down anything that goes outside the ends.
Brad Dalloiso will come on to try a field goal. He's made 12 straight. This will be from 45 yards out. Out of the hole of punter Brad Maynard. Partially blocked. And the Giants come up empty. Brandon Noble may have been the guy who got a hand on it. The Dallas defense holds. We'll be back in a moment. Blocked field goal, Joe.
He gets a real opportunity. That's Dat Nguyen, number 59, from behind. Give him a little bit of shove, both up in the middle, and Noble just gets that big arm up inside of Pettigrew. That is called pushing from behind so that you have an opportunity to block a kick. Just for those people that aren't sure what it was.
Well, they're sure.
Good effort by that D.
Anthony Wright leads out the offense. Emmitt. Nice block, nice cut. Emmitt Smith to midfield. 15 yards on his first opportunity for one of the greats of all time.
Boy, Robert Thomas, number 44, is the fullback that's out in front. Just take a look. He gets an outstanding block. And then you got your blockers up in front. Larry Allen gets out. 15-yard pickup. Here it is. Look at here. Boom to the outside. And it just followed Larry Allen. That's what you call a pancake.
Larry Allen named to his 6th consecutive Pro Bowl this week. And he is a monster when he gets going downfield. Emmitt again into Giant territory. Brought down by Cedric Jones. Here's the Cowboys offense.
Hi, I'm James McKnight. Starting quarterback tonight in this first NFL start is Anthony Can't Get Right. The running backs, Emmitt Smith and Robert Red Rock Thomas. Joining me at wide receiver, we have Jason Twinkle Toes Tucker. Tight end, David LaFleur. Up front, we have Flozell Adams, Eric Williams, Larry Allen, and Solomon Page. At center, Ben Fricky.
James, you better be careful for laying that nickname on your quarterback. You might not get too many balls thrown your way. Right with play action. Out of the backfield, the fullback, Robert Thomas. Here's the Giants defense.
I'm Jason Seymour, cornerback for the New York Giants. With me this evening on defense ends Michael Strahan and Cedric Jones. Tackles, Christian Peter and Keith Hamilton. Linebackers, Michael Barrow, Jesse Armstead, and Ryan Phillips. The other corner, Dave Thomas. Safeties, Sean Williams and Sam Garnes.
Little new do. Got a new hairdo.
Jason, thank you very much. Troy Aikman sitting this week out. He will probably sit out next week. The most meager numbers he's had since he became a starter. Victim of another concussion. Blitz coming. Right still with good protection. Throws complete. McKnight. Inside the 20 to the 17. Anthony Wright with a strike for 30 yards.
Oh, Michael, did they pick up this blitz? And they brought a safety from nowhere. And watch the time that Anthony Wright has. Look at this line of scrimmage. Just watch. Everybody is on the line of scrimmage. Here comes a blitz by Sean Williams, and he never even gets close.
McKnight working on Jason Sehorn. Gets him to turn his hips and then just breaks out. That's a nice job of now getting up the field. Don't let one man bring you down. Also, you saw Anthony Wright operating from the shotgun. Now, that is not something that Troy Aikman likes, but it's something that Anthony Wright really likes.
Emmitt tries to cut it back and held up by Mike Barrow, the middle linebacker.
I think down here in the red area, one of the things you can look for out of Anthony Wright, because of his mobility, he reminds me a lot in his mannerisms of Randall Cunningham. Look for him to move around a little bit. Maybe a bootleg, some play action to get him on the edge of this Giant defense.
Because that was his idol when he was a kid?
That was somebody he looked up to.
Yeah, I think so.
It's uncanny how his mannerisms mirror Randall's too.
I think he's far more developed as a younger player than Randall Cunningham was. Right, short set in the flat, complete to McGarity, and he is inside the New York 10. Dave Thomas took him out of bounds. This kid doesn't look frightened at all.
Well,
you know, they talk about they wanted to throw at Dave Thomas, and here they are right now. To Dave Thomas' side. Wayne McGarity just hooks up, and I mean, they got about a half a yard to go. That's a perfect pass. There's nothing, I mean, there's nothing frightening about this kid. I mean, he is not frightened at all. He is so calm. He was so calm in the meeting yesterday.
A good-looking young quarterback out of South Carolina. Emmitt to the goal line. Just short. inches away from his 145th rushing touchdown.
If there's one thing that has remained consistent for Dave Campo this year, it has been his offensive line. These guys just find a body to get on, and then you let Emmitt run on up inside, and Sam Garnes, even with the shot at him on the right shoulder, is not going to stop this great back.
Emmitt Smith in his 11th year, 3rd all-time on the rushing chart. 2nd and goal. Emmitt cuts it outside. Touchdown!
The one thing about Emmitt Smith is that he does not have great speed, folks, and he never did have great speed. But what he does have is tremendous balance. Watch this. That was Jesse Armstead diving over. He just went up in the hole, saw that there was nothing there, and just got himself back down. Look at his feet just moving, get him back to the outside, to the open area, and the touchdown. That's greatness.
Tim Cedar for the point after. Seven 0 Cowboys. Will the upset barrage continue? The Giants hope it won't. They want to clinch the NFC East. ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Charles Schwab, creating a world of smarter investors. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. By 1-800-COLLECT, the easy way to save. And by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Big D on a cool December night. And the Cowboys with a 7-0 lead over the Giants. Micah Orr back to kickoff for the 2nd time tonight. Washington and Dixon are deep. Dixon from the 10 this time. Spins out of a tackle. And Orr, the kickoff man, makes the stop across the 40. Nice return by Dixon, which will set up the Giants with excellent field position when we come back. Mike Zimmer, who was elevated to defensive coordinator when Dave Campbell became the head coach. Yards per game this year, his defense dead last in the NFL. Yards per rush, dead last in the NFL. The players insist it is hardly Mike Zimmer's fault. And they were really happy last week when the defense played very well to beat the Redskins, because he has been under a lot of heat this year. Ron Dane, not much. Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, had even said that Zim will be back next year, but his responsibilities may be different. He wants Dave Campo, who was strictly the head coach this year, to go back to more of a dual role next season and be more involved in the defense.
Well, it was also something that Dave Campo had to figure out. This is his first year as a head coach, and he said he has to learn and had to learn what his responsibilities and what his time allocation could be.
2nd and 9 for the Giants. Barber back in. Nice hole up the middle. Good cut by Tiki Barber, but then he's wrapped up at the 45. Nice tackle by Felipe Sparks, the former Giant.
You know, the one thing about this, you're watching the Dallas Cowboys defense, how they go really fast from right to left. You know, see them, you look like they're over pursuing. Tiki Barber, when he makes this one cut, now go back up the field. Now, Hambrick, number 54, was there. Felipe Sparks, number 20, and Alonzo Spellman make the play. But Tiki Barber ran about 12 yards and picked up 3.
Ron Dixon comes in as the 3rd wide receiver to join Hilliard and Toomer. Blitz coming. Collins under pressure, throws high. And Coakley was right there anyway. He just smeared Tiki Barber.
Well, not only does he have nowhere to throw the ball, Joe, but he doesn't have any time to do that.
No, when the pocket collapses around you, you really do the best job of just getting it out, which he did. Watch the pressure come to the left side. Alonzo Spellman just pushes the center right back into his face, Dusty Ziegler. I mean, Ziegler is right back in Collins' face. If you want to mess up a quarterback that throws out of the pocket, push it back in his face.
Maynard to kick to McGarity, who is 7th in the league in punt returns, averaging better than 12 yards. Oops. Very short kick that takes a bounce for the Cowboys, down by the Giants near the 30-yard line. Only a 24-yard punt. 7-0 Cowboys. They'll have it again when we come back. Quarterbacks have made their their debut against teams that were more than 5 games or better above 500. Their record only 4-20.
But the Giants are 10-4 coming into this one.
Emmitt Smith dancing around, no place to go. Anthony Wright was 3 for 3 on the opening series to 3 different receivers. This young man was enjoying a very good career at South Carolina before he tore up his knee as a junior. They changed offenses, and he suffered through a 1-10 senior year. Was not drafted, but they thought highly of him at Pittsburgh when Tom Donahoe was the personnel man there. They signed him, worked his way up to number 2 on the depth chart a season ago, and Jack Riley thinks he's got a real diamond in the rough here. He's finally released by Pittsburgh at the end of this season after the front office changes. Right to Jackie Harris. Harris breaks a tackle to the 45.
Boy, he breaks a tackle of Jesse Armstead, and that's something you don't see that often.
What we've seen by 2 receivers tonight is we've seen them break tackles. What the Cowboys are getting is they're getting a lot more yards out of the design of the pass. This is only about an 8-yard pass. Now Armstead tries to wrap up. Harris can't. And Jackie Harris winds up picking up about 10 more yards.
Jackie Harris was the guy Troy Aikman said they had to have when they signed him as a free agent in the offseason. Said he's the kind of guy you really are able to go to in clutch situations. He's his 35th catch this year. Right to throw again. Excellent protection. Unloads. That may draw a flag. There was a collision.
Incidental contact.
McKnight and Sehorn ran together, and McKnight certainly didn't think it was incidental.
Well, the Cowboys said that they wanted to go after Dave Thomas, but they're certainly not afraid of Jason Sehorn. There's a little quick move out and up. Now, I got to be honest with you. That's a good call by the official because Sehorn had the position.
Eric Williams on Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan said he is the toughest guy he plays against. He's also the meanest guy that he plays against. He just threw him on the ground.
Emmitt keeps the legs driving into Giant territory at the 48.
He ran right through Keith Hamilton, and Keith Hamilton is one of the better tacklers on this Giant defensive line.
Keith Hamilton has had a magnificent year. There are a lot of people who think he should have made it to the Pro Bowl this season. 8 sacks. He's always been a good run stopper inside.
Emmitt's going to leave because he lost his shoe.
That's the only way you get him out.
And the rookie Michael Wiley out of Ohio State will come in his place. They had to glue him to his feet. Blitz coming right into the flat, and a miscommunication with his receiver, and now a flag is down. Thomas was riding McGarity out there, and it may be a hold. And this will be a first down for the Cowboys.
This ball is thrown nowhere near the receiver.
Holding, number 41, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down.
But that doesn't have anything to do with pass interference. This is actually holding. Just take a look at Dave Thomas. Now, he grabs him right there, and a legal check after 5 yards, whatever you want to call it. But it is a 5-yard penalty. I mean, a holding penalty, which is automatic first down. That's a good call.
It has been all Cowboys in a rapidly moving first quarter. Emmitt back in there. Stutter step gives him a little room. He's down to the 42. The Dallas Cowboys are leading this game 7-0, and they have the ball again in Giants territory as we hit the end of the first quarter from Irving, Texas. 7-0, Dallas. If you just joined us, we may have another upset in the making. on an upset Sunday in the NFL. The Cowboys on top of the Giants, and Anthony Wright has been the leader so far. 4 out of 5, 59 yards. Has shown no hesitation, no nervousness whatsoever. Good protection. Down the middle, incomplete. That one nearly picked off. There's a marker down. Sean Williams had a shot at the interception. Now we'll check the penalty. Tom White, the referee. And this will go against the Giants.
This may be Dave Thomas again.
Illegal contact. Number 58, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down.
It's Mike Barrow, the middle linebacker.
Michael Barrow patrolling the middle of the defense. You see him drop back. Yep, you can't do that. He's too far past. The receiver comes across in that shallow zone. Actually, it was not 58, it was 98. Jesse Armstead, and he winds up pushing Jason Tucker.
Armstead just named to his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl.
They got to hunt him up. They can't hit him.
Emmitt, the single setback. He'll get the toss. Nice hole off the right side. Emmitt to the 26. It's a special Saturday night edition of the NFL on ESPN next week as Eric Bolds and the Buffalo Bills head to the Pacific Northwest to meet Ricky Watters and the Seattle Seahawks. Coverage begins at 7:30 with the NFL Tonight. When Anthony Wright came into the game last week, he turned to Emmitt Smith and said, look, I need you.
I think he just did it again. He turned around and looked back at him again.
Well, we asked him what he would say this week, and he said, I'm going to tell Emmitt I'll be there for you. Emmitt on the toss. Nothing but blue in front of him. He goes down for a 2-yard loss. Only 3 men in the history of this game have ever rushed for 15,000 yards in their career. You are looking at number 3 all time. He's closing in on Barry Sanders, and Walter Payton is less than 1,600 yards ahead of him.
And that last play was going to be a reverse, but Emmitt saw that the defense had penetrated so much, he didn't even try and make the handoff to McGarity. He just kept it.
2nd and 12 after the loss. Right. Incomplete. McGarity got a hand on it.
You know what I really like? I like the way Jack Riley, the offensive coordinator, is calling this football game. He's just letting this kid cut it loose.
And you're absolutely right, Joe. They're working on Dave Thomas again. Here it is. Take a look at the outside. McGarity again. And this ball is really thrown the only place that McGarity could have caught it. If it goes to the inside, it might have been picked off. But look where he throws this ball. Back to the outside, it would have been a tremendous catch, but it was the right place to throw it.
The rookie Wiley checks into the backfield. Jason Tucker also out there for Dallas on 3rd and 12. 4-man rush. Wiley in the flat, nowhere to go. Sehorn was right there.
That's a loss of a yard.
McDaniel was also in on the stop. Beautifully defensed by the Giants.
Well, one of the things you tell a young quarterback is, look, protect field position. If we have an opportunity at a field goal, don't take a sack and don't try and throw it down the field and force anything.
Tim Cedar has made 23 this year. He's on to try one from 46 yards out. Finished school in '97, took a high school job as a phys ed instructor and a coach, and has found himself pursuing his dream and making it as the Cowboys kicker. And hitting that one from 46. The Cowboys with nothing to play for but pride, taking it to the Giants. People that wanted to run Jim Fossil out of town, but since the guarantee and the 3-game winning streak, chance to run up the NFC East title tonight, Everybody thinks Jim Fossil is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Well, you know, the one thing I really loved about him is when he said, when I went into training camp and the press is on me, he said, I didn't care about my job. Don't threaten me with my job. I know the security I have. And when he did what he did it because he knew the players were going to back him.
Well, he picked the timing, I think, was so good, too. He did it when they lost to Detroit. He felt like his football team needed to get shaken up. There was a lot of controversy around Larry McDuff, the special teams coach. So what he basically did, he said, hey, look, I'm going to take all the heat off this football team. Put it on New.
Psychologically, he has had brilliant timing. Dixon. Jim Fossil, somebody referred to him as Mr. Rogers as a coach. He did not like that at all. And it seems as the season goes along, Jim Fossil has made more pointed statements.
Well, I think he's more like Stone Cold Steve Austin right now. He's just taking everybody on, no matter who they say or what they say. This week, he wouldn't let his assistant coaches, his coordinators, talk to the media.
What he did with that guarantee, Joe, was give people the ammunition that if they wanted to get rid of him and the promise wasn't fulfilled, that was the ammo, and he knew it. Dane stood up after 2. Here's Jim Fossil on his life after that guarantee.
I'm having a ball. I don't worry about anything. I don't have a worry in my life. Everybody always thought, well, I came into the season, my job's on the line. Never fazed me. I never thought about it. All I thought about is making this team play to their capabilities, and they're doing it right now.
Gotta like Jim Fossil. He said he knew his team would respond to that guarantee, and boy, have they.
Well, his offense is going to have to do a better job than they've done so far today.
Collins, the screen to Barber. Breaks a couple of tackles. Tiki Barber. To the 36-yard line.
I'm going to tell you something, boys. This is all Tiki. I mean, this was a sensational run by Tiki Barber. He's having a great year. The screen was set out to the outside. You got to do something to loosen up these linebackers. Number 21 is Tiki Barber. Watch this. Bam! Great vision. Back to the inside. Now he picks up a block by Pettigrew, number 77, downfield. And he's moving. Amani Toomer down there trying to help out. That was a nice pickup by Tiki.
Caught more than 60 balls this year, rushed for over 800 yards. He's been a tremendous player. Hilliard on the quick out. McNeil makes the tackle at the 30, and he has just set a giant record for all-purpose yards, which includes punt and kickoff returns. 1,842 all-purpose yards.
You want to pick out an MVP of this football team? Without question, it's Tiki Barber because he does so much. And really, when you look at the running aspect of it, he's rushed for 855 yards. But so far this year, he hasn't carried a ball more than 20 times in a game.
Dane is in there for him right now. Dane will get the carry and hit from behind. Never had a chance. Ebenezer Ekubon crashed down from his defensive end spot.
Well, the one thing that everybody knows, and the Giants told us this, when Ron Dane is in the backfield, he's going to carry the ball, and when he carries the ball, no one blocks Ekubon. So Ebenezer Ekubon comes down the line of scrimmage. Watch this. Look at the speed. Knows Ron Dane's getting the ball. Nobody blocks him. He got it for a loss.
Ebenezer said he loves Zimmer, his defensive coach loves Campo, and it hurt that we weren't winning for them. They won it last week, trying to make it 2 in a row.
Pettigrew
this one dead.
Number 77.
False start. Number 77, offense, moving prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Number 1 draft choice a year ago. The Giants not playing their style of football tonight. They're making too many mistakes on both sides of the ball. That's the way they haven't gotten here doing this.
They're a rhythm offense, in and out of the huddle quickly. They're out of sync right now. They're not getting to the line of scrimmage, getting plays called in a rhythm that they're comfortable with. Now they don't even get one called in time for them to get it off.
Kerry Collins forced to use a timeout. 10-0 Cowboys. Is over the Giants' second quarter. Giants now have the ball at the 35-yard line. That Cowboy defense has given up only 93 yards in the first half. They came in number 1 worst against the rush, 20th overall in the NFL on defense.
Well, Joe, you said that the Giants are out of sync. These are the guys that put them out of sync. The Dallas Cowboy defense.
3rd and 9, Collins in the shotgun. Threw it out of bounds. Intended for Dixon. Sparks on the coverage. Collins has not been sharp so far tonight.
Well, he missed the opportunity for a touchdown to Ike Hillier earlier in the first quarter when he had an out and up. This one, he just airmails out way to the right.
And Jim Fossil sends on the punt team, trying to get field position.
You just got to figure you have to kick it to a corner here, don't you, Paul? I mean, there's no way you can kick this in the end zone from the 35.
Kick it out of bounds to his left.
Maynard, a very good inside the 20 kicker.
What? Who said that?
You said
it.
Maynard, normally a very good inside the 20 kicker. And the jinx strikes again. A punt of 18 yards for Brad Maynard.
ESPN.
These overhead shots provided by the Yahoo Sports Aerial Cam high above Dallas, Texas. They have remarked the punt of Brad Maynard. It is now officially 8 yards. And Dallas takes over at the 27. Thomas, the fullback, with a rare carry.
You know, yesterday we talked to Michael Strahan, and he said he loves to play against Eric Williams. He said he's the best offensive tackle in the game. He says, and I like to go up against the best. He's not only one of the strongest, he said he's one of the meanest. And this has not been good for Michael Strahan. Eric Williams is 79. Michael Strahan is 92. And watch how close he gets to the quarterback. I don't think so. When he puts him on the ground, he falls on him.
Williams is a 4-time Pro Bowler, a real mauler inside, considered retirement before this season. Right. Knocked away at the last moment by Sehorn. And there is a marker down back where Wright was.
Roughing the passer. Well, I'll tell you, penalties have gotten these guys in a lot of trouble.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 49 pushed the quarterback to the ground. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's 41, not 49. Dave Thomas, the corner.
I don't understand when a quarterback breaks the pocket and he has the threat of being a runner. When he gets pushed to the ground, they call that roughing. To me, there's got to be a different interpretation. I mean, all he does is run into him, push him down. That, in my opinion, is not roughing the quarterback.
Well, he got like a 3-step run at him.
Running into him, maybe. Roughing, I don't think so.
But another crucial mistake for the New York Giants. Emmitt picks up a couple. College football bowl action for you next Sunday night at 8:30 Eastern. George Welsh in his final game as the head coach at the University of Virginia will battle Jim Donnan in his final game at Georgia in the Jeep Oahu Bowl. Known George Welsh for a long time, and it was very difficult for him to retire. The University of Virginia football program was in the dumper when George Welsh took over, and he's done a brilliant job throughout his career there.
Of course, we're on Saturday night next week.
Seattle.
Play action. Hamilton nearly got to right. He escaped. Throws incomplete behind Harris.
You know something, Joseph? In the first quarter, you talked about you want to get to a quarterback and disrupt him, get some penetration. Well, you want to talk about some penetration. Keith Hamilton, number 75. Just take a look at. Here comes some penetration. He penetrates all the way into the backfield and into the quarterback. Jackie Harris drops the ball, and Jesse Armstead almost had a shot at him.
Did you see Emmitt try and block him?
Yeah.
Emmitt just sort of like it's like getting in the way of a freight train.
Well, at least he got in his way.
209 against 295. Wiley checks into the backfield for Dallas on 3rd and 8. Dropped at the 35, would have been a first down. Jason Tucker couldn't hold it.
Boy, when Anthony Wright operates out of the shotgun, it looks like such a comfort zone to him. I really like the way he throws the football. I mean, the Cowboys might have something special. Brings it out over the top, makes the throw, and even though the ball is down low a little bit, you've got to make that catch. You've got to make that catch.
Got into his body and bounced off. That would have been a big first down for Dallas. Micah Noor will punt to Barber. Noor, a guy who was out of school for 4 years before he got his chance in the NFL. Nice high floater. Takes a good bounce for the Cowboys. Everything going Dallas's way. They have outplayed the New York Giants so far. They lead it 10-0. Second quarter from Irving. In suburban Dallas, Texas. Beautifully decorated home there. I'm sure the kids have enjoyed that one.
Thank goodness no snow, though.
They brought the snow in from Buffalo.
This guy does not have time to be at a football game. I've got a long list. Barber gets it out to the 15.
See, and I think they've got the right guy in the game right now. Tiki Barber, against the speed of this Dallas defense, I think has a better opportunity to pick up yards and make quick cuts than Ron Dane does.
It has not been a banner night for either before that carry. Each had the ball 4 times and gained a total of 7 yards. Now we have updated Barber. He's up to 5 for 10.
I think he gives you the best running opportunity.
Cowboys defense last against the rush in the NFL. Not tonight. Barber, nice juggling catch, but taken out of bounds by Darren Hambrick, the leading tackler on this club.
I just don't see Kerry Collins as comfortable throwing the football tonight as I've seen him in the past. He's missed some throws deep. This one here, this is a short pass out in the flat. He fires this one high. Tiki has to make a terrific catch just to knock it down and get control of it.
This guy's become an unquestioned leader on this ball club, and right now it looks like he is going to have to do the work tonight.
Well, they brought Ron Dane in and they take Tiki Barber out. And Kerry Collins told us he likes to be at the line of scrimmage for 20 seconds. Well, he got to the line of scrimmage, there were 8 seconds.
Collins can't find anybody. Ecubon in the chase, and he got it. Six and a half sacks this year for Ebenezer Ecubon out of North Carolina.
You talk about a motor running. Ecubon never stops in pursuit. 96 comes up the field. Dane cuts him. But look at the pursuit. He's on the ground. Underwood doesn't give Collins a chance to throw, and then he doesn't quit. And a terrible decision by Kerry Collins not to unload the football.
A 14-yard loss, which will force Maynard to kick it out of the end zone to McGarity. And McGarity is already at the Giant 45. Short kick. McGarity can't get up there. Bounces sideways out of bounds at the 44. Ebenezer Ecubon and the Dallas defense rising up tonight, throwing a shutout at the New York Giants. To find out who's in and who's out, log on to NFL.com for the complete playoff picture. And you will find that nobody has clinched a division title.
I was just going to say, we all should, just to figure it out.
If you're a Dallas fan, you have to be flexible. Randall, Aikman, no, we're down to Wright. The Rocket, Galloway, they're both out, and we're down to McKnight. And they still lead at 10-0, and they have the ball at the Giant 44. Emmitt, Strahan closed down in a hurry. Jim Fossil not happy with his offensive production so far.
He's not happy with his anybody in there. I mean, Kerry Collins is not making good decisions or throws. They need him to do that, and the offensive line is going to have to do a better job of protecting. They need to start making plays, and I guarantee you that's what he just told them.
Jim Fossil said a couple of weeks ago, I don't have the problem putting the hammer down on anybody.
And I also think that their defense is going to have to get after Wright a little bit. I don't think you can just rush 4 against this offensive line.
Wright with time to throw. McKnight gets extra yardage inside the 30. James McKnight has been a guy that has become the go-to wide receiver with the injuries to Ismael and Galloway.
Why not? Nobody's covering him.
Well, he pushes him off. Up top, they push him off, he makes the turn. You see McDaniel try and come over and make a play, but the corner's so far off, he's nowhere near him.
Okay, now Michael Strahan again. Now there's a tight end blocking on Michael Strahan, and he can't get to the quarterback.
4:15 and counting, first half. Emmitt on the toss. Cuts it back, nowhere to go. He'll lose a couple.
I think Foxy's got to come after now. Second down, you got to put together a blitz so that you can't gain any yards, force a 3rd and long situation, make Wright put the ball in the air and go after him, and let your defense try and make a play.
Well, I got James McKnight is hurt, number 82, and he's down on the field.
That's all Dallas needs to lose another wideout. Got to his feet off the artificial turf here at Texas Stadium.
Emmitt on the run. McKnight trying to come down and block. He actually gets run over by Sean Williams, the safety. Literally run over.
They lost Galloway at the start of the season. Ismael went down. The Rocket, who was the leading receiver last year. And now McKnight. They have already thrown more balls tonight than they did all last week against the Redskins. Aikman threw 3. Anthony Wright threw 5. The entire game. A franchise low. Draw play. Emmitt. Nothing doing. He'll lose another yard. Let's go to Solomon Wilcott. Solly.
Yeah, Mike, this week I talked to several scouts around the league, and they say the book on Anthony Wright is that he has great mobility and good arm strength, and he's very competitive. They say he's smart, and he's a heady player who knows the nuances of playing the quarterback position. I think he's already shown some examples of those abilities tonight. Remember, the Cowboys took him off the practice squad a few weeks ago when both the Dolphins and Chiefs tried to sign him away from Dallas, so his abilities are no longer a secret around the league, Mike.
Solomon, he has been very impressive. Looks like he's unshakable. Little swing. Down to the 25-yard line goes Wiley.
There's been a battle all night long between Eric Williams and Michael Strahan. Look at this. Now he goes down to his legs, cuts him. Michael Strahan still can't get off the line of scrimmage.
Well, and by doing that, he allows Anthony Wright to be able to make a nice, easy pass out to Wiley in the flat. So, you know, Eric Wright just changing up his technique.
Tim Cedar is on to try from 44. He had a 47-yarder earlier in the ball game. Started to hook and then stayed inside the upright. The Dallas Cowboys manhandling the Giants.
Well, there was a little bit of pressure up the middle, but they got the ball up quickly, and when you do that, there's really no chance for the defensive lineman. Look at look at the penetration. Now, when you get your hand up, Christian Peter, number 99, was the guy that got his hand up. It would have been a little bit more to the right. He might have gotten a piece of it.
Yeah, but if you're a Giant fan, you got to stop and think about something, because since 1990, they've only won one game when they've been down by 12 points or more.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Hewlett-Packard, inventing new ways to live and work. By Southwestern Bell, a member of the SBC Global Network. By Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. And by PlayStation 2. 13-0 Dallas Cowboys. The Giants can clinch the NFC East tonight and would be in control of home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But they've got to come back. Dixon. Reese down on special teams, the first man, and he got a lot of help for Dallas. Joe, you were talking just a moment ago about the Giants coming from behind. They are not built to do that.
Well, they weren't built to do that. They really weren't. In the past, I don't think they were. I think Jim Fossil's football team now has to move up another level. Now the game really falls in the hands of Kerry Collins. He proved last week against Pittsburgh that he has the ability to throw the football and throw for a lot of yards. As a matter of fact, in the 19 games that Kerry Collins has played, he's thrown for 300 yards 4 times and won 3 of them.
He may have to do it again tonight. Draw play, Barber, a lot of room. Tiki Barber shoved out shy of the 35. We have reached the 2-minute warning in Irving, officially at 1:57. Back after this. Toyota halftime show. SportsCenter in game, the fastest 3 minutes in television. And the Packers sweep the Vikings. Just one of the stunning upsets that we had today. Kerry Collins has had a career season with the New York Giants this year. Gone over 3,000 yards for the first time in his career. He had a completion percentage goal of 60%. He's at 59.9. Thrown 19 touchdown passes. That's a career high. 10th in the NFL in quarterback rating. And from the depths from where he came, from substance abuse and all the problems that he had, I think everybody is happy for Kerry Collins. What a remarkable transformation. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's got to run and slides in at the 37.
He didn't slide past the first down. They're going to be a yard short.
Now he can't ground it. They do have 2 timeouts, but I don't think he wants to use them up here with 1 minute and 35 seconds coming up.
Need a first down to keep the sticks moving. That's tipped but caught by Mitchell at the 41. That is a first down. Veteran tight end out of Boston College.
Now they're moving with some good pace now. This is what they need.
Don't be afraid to throw it in the middle.
Collins again with time over the middle, and it's dropped by Hilliard. Collins put it right there, and Hilliard is his favorite receiver.
If there's one thing good that resulted out of this play, when he bounced it up in the air, it did not get intercepted. But good protection by the offensive line. Now watch Kerry just smoke this one. Right through his hands. Ike just didn't get him up and get him ready. He makes the move inside. Greg Myers trying to cover.
Giants have had a couple of opportunities tonight. Collins wants the screen. Tiki Barber ran away from his blocking and did it all by himself. Larimore made the tackle.
Timeout, Giants.
Monday Night Countdown tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern. Mike Tirico and the gang review Sunday's top stories and preview the Monday night matchup. Then at 9, it's ABC's Monday Night Football. Kurt Warner and the Rams head to Tampa to battle Warren Sapp and the Bucs. What a huge game with a week to go in the season.
Well, I remember last year in the NFC Championship game, we talked about if there's one football team that might be able to play the Rams and somebody who can rush 4 and drop 7, that is the team that can do it. How about John Lynch, too?
John Lynch is just remarkable.
The one-arm bandit.
I love it. Every once in a while he goes out the field and he straightens his arm out. And he goes back in.
Comes back in and drills somebody.
Paul, I think you were right. You said Kerry's got to work the middle. I still think the Cowboys are giving him a lot of room in the secondary. It's a good place to keep on firing the ball.
Over the middle this time, intended for Hilliard, incomplete. Williams on the coverage.
Everybody went to a spot and stopped.
Giants still with plenty of time. 57 seconds on the clock. 1 timeout left.
Yeah, you don't abandon the middle at around a minute. When you get down about 30 seconds or so, you can.
Well, and the reason why Sean Payton can continue to call plays to work the middle is because the Cowboys have got their safeties backed up and their corners off.
Collins with good time. Too far. Intended for Hilliard again.
Oh. He had Pete Mitchell, number 83, going down the middle, and he had time to throw the ball, and all he had to do was wait for him to clear. He's got to look at the tight end. Here comes Pete Mitchell, number 83. Now watch this. Boom, he waits. And look at here. Once he clears the linebacker, Dat Win, he's wide open.
Well, the thing is, he's not even close to the receiver. I mean, that ball wasn't even anywhere near catchable.
3rd and 10. Collins, incomplete, too high again. That intended for Dixon. Izell Reese, the closest defender.
I think Kerry's trying to put too much on the ball. I mean, this is a case, in my opinion, of overthrowing. Every ball he has thrown has sailed on him. Watch this turn. He's open. I mean, he's open. All he has to do is hit him somewhere reasonable in the numbers. But everything is coming out so high.
And now the Giants will have to punt it away.
You just got to settle down and make the throws.
Maynard, who tried for the angle kick last time and only got 8 yards out of it, gets another poor kick. Walking toward the 20, past the 20. 22 yards this time.
Paul, I think you ought to just try and pooch one. What do you think? At this point.
These overhead shots provided by the Yahoo Sports aerial cam. High above Dallas, Texas, and Texas Stadium in Irving. Now, we saw Joe down on the field earlier, Paul, talking with Brad Maynard. He's gotten off punts of 8 and 22 yards. Little sideline coaching going on again, partner?
You ruined the kid. You've absolutely ruined the kid.
You are not going to give me credit for what's going on. I had nothing to do with this. We talked about Christmas shopping, not punting. Boy, he has kicked a couple of poor ones.
McKnight has a sprained knee for the Cowboys. He may not come back in the game. So their top 3 receivers would be sidelined. And they're down to 3 who are left on the active roster.
You know, if you're the Cowboys, you go in at halftime feeling good about what you've done. Everything you've called has worked out. Your line's blocking very well. If you're the Giants, you got to say, okay, defensively, we're doing okay. Offensively, we've got to start making some plays.
And this Cowboy defense will leave the field with a lot of pride for what they've done in the last 6 quarters. They hammered the Redskins a week ago. They have shut out the Giants in the first half tonight. Jerry Jones has got to be thrilled with what his club has done. That's the end of the first half to score. Dallas 13, New York nothing. Now let's join Chris Berman for SportsCenter in Game, the Toyota halftime show.